valley where only nomads live. Here there are neither houses, nor mail, nor electricity. The men from Turpu find it hard to imagine that their enlightened Karmapa, the Buddha, could have chosen this, of all places, for his reincarnation. What reasons might he have?
Could this be Lolaga?
People here still live the way they did in primeval times.
Finally, the search party finds its way to the tent of Dandup and Lolaga. If what they've heard is true, then their middle son, who was born in the year of the ox, must be Karmapa. The indications in the sacred letter and the facts as they find them here are exactly the same. The dream of the Dalai Lama has been confirmed.
One valley and some stream, small, beautiful streams. There was someone there and told me, oh, this is the place where Karmapa was born.
33 years after the 16th Karmapa had to flee from the Chinese invaders and Turpu was completely destroyed, the 17th Karmapa returns once again to his ancestral home.
Karmapa's power to consciously change from one life to another is something which evokes deep devotion and respect among Tibetans. They don't see him as a child, they see him as a person who bears with him the wisdom of 16 lives in Buddhahood.
He's being shown his throne in the Great Hall of Prayer.
No, not the little one. The large one over there.
Having been informed immediately that Karmapa had been found, Situ comes to greet him.
With him is Gyalwang, one of the interim regents. They come to welcome the new Karmapa.
In Tibet, great moments such as this don't happen spontaneously. They are subject to a strict traditional ritual.
Umtse, the chief tutor and master of ceremonies of the previous Karmapa in Rumtek.
How much does Karmapa remember about Umtse and all the others who were so familiar to him in his previous life?
And this is the occasion for the official photograph to commemorate Karmapa's successful reincarnation.
The news spreads quickly all over the world. Karmapa's personality and his unique abilities arouse much interest in the West. Without any effort on his part, his appearance coincides with a general surge of interest in Buddhism outside Asia. The little son of Tibetan nomads from Latok is officially recognized by the Dalai Lama as the true reincarnation of Karmapa.
What was the basis for your recognition?
So what usually I do is I do not, relying on just one or two, test. So I proceed my usual method regarding the choosing reincarnation. Then the indication is positive. So then I decided, okay, that's good.
Ultimately, a Karmapa proves himself by his deeds. The letter of prophecy said that he would not be staying close to some and distant from others. He is the protector of all beings.
A
few of the holes are quite deep.
Some Karmapas left the impressions of their fingers in the stone to prove the power of mind over matter. The Chinese left gaping holes in the wall, which prove their faith in the power that comes from the barrel of a gun, and demonstrate their hatred of religion.
Religion in Tibet is something altogether different from what Marx, Mao, or other materialists meant by it. Buddhism is not the opium of the people. Buddhism made the people gentle and peaceful. This makes their brutal fate particularly tragic and bitter.
Is this the Karmapa's house?
It was in this little house that the first Karmapa began his line of reincarnations. At that time, in the 12th century, there was no monastery, only wilderness. He meditated in here for decades in order to become master of his own spirit.
All of the 16 Karmapas were clearly identified by the prophecies they left behind in their previous life. And in this way, the line of reincarnations has remained unbroken for 800 years.
The first Karmapa became famous for his miracles, and a monastery grew up around his modest little house at Tsurpu.
Like the first Karmapa, his successors withdrew from monastic life to the seclusion of their hermitages and caves.
These still existing places of retreat are objects of veneration for pilgrims. Most of them are still in use.
Surviving here in the winter at temperatures of minus 40 degrees is proof enough of extraordinary spiritual power.
It was in this hermitage, along with his mother, that the 10th Karmapa spent 30 years meditating. In each life, again and again, the Karmapas, through profound discipline, attained that clear-sightedness which enabled them to see beyond the borders of death.
This is the cave where the 10th Karmapa meditated during most of his life.
Reincarnation aside, all the little boys previously identified by the letters of the deceased Karmapas turned out to be outstanding personalities, musicians, poets, engineers, philosophers, who also had the gift of prophecy.
The 9th Karmapa sat here and left the imprint of his back in the rock. Those who rub against it are sometimes healed of disease.
Meditation without any distraction is the only means of transcending the limits of the body. In order to achieve highest enlightenment, the 7th Karmapa had himself walled in here for 7 years. Without words or eye contact, food and drink was given to him through a hole in the wall and left him through another opening in the bottom of his tiny stone box, where he could not stretch his legs.
At an elevation of 15,000 feet, the 2nd Karmapa had his hermitage. This house even survived an earthquake and the attacks by the Chinese in 1966.
It is a testimony to the strength of Tibetan Buddhism that despite everything which has happened in recent years, the 17th Karmapa is able to once again reclaim his ancestral home and give new life to it. By thus dying and returning in a new body and with a new nationality, he surmounts political borders which would have been impossible to cross with the same body and as an exile.
This is his first outing on horseback since he has returned to Tsurpu. It takes him to the lower garden and passes by the protective deity Mahakala, who watches over the teachings of Buddha at the gates of Tsurpu.
400 years before the birth of the first Karmapa, Padmasambhava, the founder of Tibetan Buddhism, made a prophecy which said that completing the work of Karmapa would require 21 reincarnations. Urgent Tinley is the 17th of the predicted 21 Karmapas.
There's something in there. A demon lives in this stone. He has to be got rid of, or else something awful will happen.
Can't it wait until tomorrow?
No, now. Take him out and don't get tired. I'll show you where he has to go. Here, that's where he should be buried.
But the wall might cave in if we remove the stone. Shouldn't we support it?
No.
Very well then, let's begin.
In Tibet, it is not at all unusual for demons to take possession of a stone and spread evil from there. The breaking of such stones in a special ceremony which forces the demon to flee is quite common.
Apparently, this demon is particularly unpleasant, and the Karmapa wants him buried. He's to get a decent funeral. Only monks are allowed to dig his grave. And he's to be given a bed of flowers.
Here he will find peace. Stay there and calm down.
Did he just imagine all this? Or does he have a kind of perception which we lack?
Situ and Gyaltsap have arrived. They have planned something special for today.
A vacation from the monastery can last for a couple of days. The Tibetans love picnics and outdoor activities.
The 12th Situ and the 17th Karmapa have rediscovered a friendship which has lasted through 12 lifetimes, stronger than any family tie.
At a party like this, even someone as austere as Gyaltsab, one of the interim regents, can become playful.
A form of stately Tibetan rock and roll.
The surprise is ready. Now Karmapa can come in.
It's too dangerous for predators like these, armed with savage teeth and claws, to indulge in...
A generator, a television set and a video recorder have been brought from Lhasa especially for today.
With milk continually on tap, there's less competition at feeding time. These two domestic cats are operating in the same way, like overcrowded lions. Between them, they'll have 12 kittens, and it's a free-for-all as
He's
far
never
as...
seen machines like this before, at least not in this life. Situ has brought along a special film which he now shows Karmapa. It's a film about the 16th Karmapa.
3 rooms have already been prepared. Ranjan Rikpa Dorje, the last Karmapa, was born in Tibet in 1924. He fulfilled the prophecies of Padma Sambhava, who also foretold in the 8th century Sorapur Monastery will be the center of the activity of the successive Karmapas, who by their activity would liberate inconceivable numbers of sentient beings. Many thousands of families in Tibet have close links with the Karmapas and have always given generously to the monastery. Tibetans are sure that the new incarnation of the Gyalwang Karmapa will one day come back here to Tsurku.
In 1974, the 16th Karmapa blessed Westerners for the first time. On arriving in the United States, he went to Oraibi in the Arizona desert to pay his respects to the Native Americans of the Hopi tribe. The Hopis have an ancient prophecy which says that when the man with the red hat comes, a bridge of wisdom will be built between east and west. After Karmapa's visit, the Hopi called a meeting of all their medicine men. They confirmed that Karmapa had fulfilled their prophecy. Karmapa then traveled to a number of American cities. After he left, centers for Tibetan Buddhism were founded there.
What is actually involved in this continuity of the spirit? What is it that persists from one life to another? Levels of consciousness? Certain types of behavior? Belief in a direct connection between one life and another is made possible by our own personal subjective experience.
The Buddhists believe that every human being is the focal point of a spiritual as well as a biological heritage. Karmapa is spiritually descended from Karmapa.
Biologically, this is his father, Karma Dundup Tashi, age 54.
And this is his mother, Lolaga Poldozum, age 46.
They are nomads in eastern Tibet, in the province of Kham, in the Latok district. And this is the Pakor Valley. The family have been living here for generations.
By the time Karmapa was born in 1985, Lolaga had already given birth to 7 children. There were 6 daughters, today aged between 10 and 25. They were all born in quick succession after the birth of her eldest son, Rapsal. Together with the grandmother, 12 people live in this tent.
The climate up here at 14,000 feet is one of extremes. The temperatures range from 40 below zero to more than 100 above.
After having a 4th daughter, the family had longed for a 2nd son. When their 6th child turned out to be another daughter, they decided to have a serious consultation with the old abbot of the Kalek monastery. He gave them instructions to help them get a 2nd son. Help those in need every day, feed the fish in the river and the birds and the stray dogs.